guys. How you guys doing?
All good, thanks. How you doing, Jav?
I'm good, Dex. How you doing?
I can't complain. You had a good week?
Fantastic. What about yourself?
Can't complain, mate. I'm here. Nothing to bother me.
Brilliant. So, Dex, what's with these jelly beans here?
I never put them there. I thought you did.
I didn't put them there.
It must have been in, mate.
I think it was in.
That's next week's challenge. This week, you guys will look at the pot. And next week, you guys will give us a rough estimate on how many jelly beans are in the pot.
One question. Are they Haribo jelly beans? Because if they're not Haribo jelly beans, someone needs to contact Haribo because I want a Haribo sponsorship.
They expect to put jelly beans in front of me and not eat them. The director's not going to know this, but I'm going to take a few and it's going to be less than what it was before. Don't tell them.
Swag check. So this week I have on another one of our Moolah Cake tracksuits. This one is called the Camel Range tracksuit, the light blue version. As you can see, it's the grey with the blue with the camel on the sleeves, and it's hooded. Get it, moolahcake.com.
That's really nice. So this is a simple next suit this week. It's my plain and black, simple attire with a next tie. And cufflinks. We have cufflinks. Gold plated.
I love cufflinks.
There we go. Give me something more. You want to watch? We've got to watch, but I don't want to tell people about the watch. It's a plain watch.
So that's the swag for this week.
Look, I know I'm meant to be the suits guy, but I really like his tracksuit. I need to get one of those tracksuits off him. I want to wear one.
How's your week been, Javed? Welcome back. Lovely to see ya.
Likewise, Dex, as always.
Yeah. How's
Thank
your week
you.
been?
Week's been good. We have coronavirus, and
Tell me about it.
we're working in a new normal. So I'm grateful for many things. I'm grateful for a roof over my head, to have a job right now.
Yeah, stop saying that, because you know what? I keep forgetting to be grateful. It's true. I'm not complaining, but you just got to be grateful.
Absolutely.
That I'm still doing business. I'm comfortable. I'm cool. So yeah, you started off well. Grateful.
And I think it's also mindfulness as to what's going on in the world and for people who perhaps aren't in a good situation right now. So, you know, just want to spread positive news, positive vibes, and send out good wishes to everyone who's, you know, in difficult circumstances. So, yeah, so grateful, but also mindful, I'd say, is how I am right now. What about yourself?
Yeah, well, I'm going to start with the same. I'm grateful because I am very grateful. I mean, since Corona's hit, my business have taken another direction, but it's working, and you know, giving me more time to be flexible and film and stuff and do a lot of behind the scenes paperwork and stuff. So I'm grateful to be in the position that I'm in, and exactly mindful about other people. And I have to be, because obviously, you know, I do the whole food bank stuff.
Absolutely, yeah.
So I've now known how much people are in bad situations. Do you know what I'm saying? How are you finding working from home?
Working from home, I'd say, can be a challenge. Again, I am grateful I'm working and not working. So first of all, that equation is...
Whether you're working at home or not, whether you're working.
Exactly. You know, you've got bills to pay and a life to live, so absolutely. Though I'd say, as someone who's quite a social person, who's used to social interaction, I mean, we've formed our safety bubble so we can film, so this is something I look forward to in the week. Though I'm working with people that I've never met, that I can't meet for I'm not sure how much longer.
Because of year and all stuff.
Could be another year before I meet them. So it's a new way of doing business, and I think that's the bit which I'm finding challenges, because I love to meet people. I love learning something about them, and it's not just not the same when it's on a screen. So I miss that.
Feels different, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like I've been trying to, it doesn't matter, we can work from home, we just do it on Zoom, but really, there is a feeling that I miss, you know, how they sat down, or when they walked in, or, you know, when we was laughing, the vibe, I don't know.
Yeah. I think the vibe's an important one, because you can pick off things like how someone's feeling versus how they're really feeling. If someone's had an off day and you want to ask them, are you okay? On a Zoom call, they can just say, yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah, I'm fine.
But if they're in person, you'll be like, are you sure? Is there anything I can talk?
Yeah, you can feel the energy. It's kind of hard finding energy through the screen.
Absolutely.
That's good. So in terms of working, express a little bit more. What is it you're working doing? You know, because a lot of people want to know why you're in a suit, why I'm in a tracksuit. You know, I run a clothing line, Moolah Cake, and I'll go into that a little bit more. Tell the people about your position where you are now, what you're doing.
Sure. So I
Because
work.
you know he goes Harvard. He comes from Harvard. You know what I mean?
I'm still convinced he hasn't believed me about Harvard. He keeps bringing it up. I think he's trying to trip me up to find out if I'm lying. So I work for quite a large tech company. I won't mention their name. Though right now I look after quite a large region from a sales perspective of a fascinating tech platform. So that's EMEA, so Europe, Middle East and Africa. In Europe it includes UK. So you're in calls in the early morning with people from the UK, in the afternoons and evenings, you're speaking to people from all over the world, and managing the sales and the relationships with a lot of large advertisers that you would definitely have heard of and used every day in your day-to-day life. So it's quite a fortunate position. I'm working with a company who's also quite sophisticated in things like AI, which is artificial intelligence.
Yeah, I want to get into that. I want to know about that.
I can tell you all about that.
Oh yeah, I'm going to talk all about that. So yeah, that's what you're working on in right now.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I do own an app as well. So I predicted there'd be a recession coming. So I said, okay, I will create an app for people who want to work from home and earn a living through selling home food.
This is my water. You don't want that.
No.
But that's mine. We'll do that in the camera. But yeah.
Have you just switched our water?
Yeah.
So yeah, a couple of things going on, but my work is a priority and my app is something that's running, which I've got people running for me. So
you're living both sides of the world. You're doing business and working.
Absolutely. So I have an entrepreneurial arm, and I've always had an entrepreneurial arm. At the age of 16, I owned a market stall in Covent Garden Market, and I sell jewellery and rings and various other things, and that was my first entry into entrepreneurship. I loved it. And then I've been working for a company, but I've always had something which I call my baby or my project because I love the fascination and the buzz you get from having your own thing as well.
That's fascinating to know. Why do I say that? Because how do you take the comment when I hear people like Gary V say a sentence which resonates well with me, but then looking at you, I think, so how would you take that comment then? Which is, when you're a true bred entrepreneur, you can't stand the thought of waiting to get paid from somebody else. It's just a gut feeling of, I cannot I don't want to have to rely on or wait for someone to provide for me. That's the kind of feeling that entrepreneurs get as go-getters. What would you say in return to that?
Yeah, sure. So I think it can very much depend on the industry someone's in, right? So for me, I am fascinated by tech. I love innovation. I love the way things are going, from making people's lives easier, better, improving communication. So for me, I'm working in a space that I genuinely enjoy. So it's not like working.
Yeah, I get it. I see where it's going already.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for me, when I go to work, I've learned about something new. I've had a conversation which I wouldn't have had if I was just working in my own space.
Yeah.
I've learned about a new structure or process which a company does in a certain way, which leads to their success. And I'm fortunate to say that I've worked for $2 trillion companies.
Trillion?
$1 trillion companies.
Not billion.
Trillion.
See what I'm saying?
For two of the
Harvard,
richest.
trillion. You understand? Man's on stuff. Yeah.
So two of the richest men in the world, it doesn't matter if they're male or female, are two of the richest people in the world.
Yeah.
And to have worked for the organizations, they have clearly got a formula which has worked. And for me, I'm learning for the best. And my attitude was always, when I'm not working for myself, I want to be working for the best.
Oh yeah, you're dope. Yeah, you're dope.
So for me, it's, I am learning from the best.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
My goals are huge. I want to do things properly, I'd love this.
I wish I had this attitude a little bit, because I've never worked.
Yeah.
I've had 2 jobs which we can go into a little bit. I've had one job for 1 month and another job for, I think, 2 months. And they have been so many years apart. But one time someone said to me, so have you ever considered working for a fashion label? And I said, brother, I can't work for a fashion label. How can I work for a fashion label? I run a fashion label. And they said, yeah, but do you know how much insight and knowledge that you will gain from working in the... And I said, yeah, but think about it, bro. I work for myself, I get paid how much I want to get paid, anytime I get paid, and anytime I want to get paid. Working with someone, I'm only going to get, I don't know, just say even if they gave me a good job, £20 an hour. But I can't work for that. And he actually said something so insanely crazy to me. He said, £20 an hour, Dex. Do you think that you can go to Diesel or Nike and you're going to get £20 an hour? I'm saying, bro, I don't have no work history, no credit history, no work experience and stuff like that. They said, the industry is based on experience. You built your own company. You do your own marketing. You do your own finances. You do your own recruiting. You do your own. So you can cover every single position. I've never looked at it like that. So when I'm thinking, right, hold on. So if I go and work for like Puma and that, I want a project manager management role, and I want like 80 grand a year. This is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So hearing that, I'm now seeing that you kind of don't see it as work. You see it as I'm working for knowledge to implement into my own life. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Light bulb moment.
It is, absolutely. So, people go to educational institutes to learn, but there are structures out there which have proven success models. Yeah. And what better way to learn about how a business works?
And to be in it.
To be in it.
Yeah.
And then you learn it. And I do genuinely love the people I work with. They're great people. It's like a family. And I appreciate that as well. I do like the social part as well as giving back to them. But the learning part, I cannot say how important that has been in my life, because you're exposed to a certain network, certain decision makers, and then you start understanding how they think in terms of what are they looking for.
Everything's mindset, isn't it? Everything's how you think. Yeah.
Absolutely. And what is it that when someone's wanting to do business with you, what are the things they're looking for? What is it this company's putting forward, and what are they buying into? Is it a brand? Is it a product? Is it a relationship?
And I had to learn all this stuff myself.
Yeah.
Like even now when I'm trying to think of how do I sell one of my departments out of my brand, like I've had to learn about the things that investors or buyers are looking for that create a brand that they want to invest in or buy. I'm thinking, so this part ain't amounting to nothing then. Do you know what I mean? I had to learn what is value in a company. Yeah, so all of that I had to find out myself, like branding. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like when I created my logo and I had to find out about, does my logo bring value? It's like I've been taught that if you have a bottle of water with nothing on it, as you can see, this might cost 50p. But then if you put a Mulacate logo on it, this bottle of water now becomes £2.50.
It's been caked up.
It's been caked up. That's a good one, I like that. So it's been caked up. So therefore I realized that my brand or my logo brings value to anything that is placed on. And learning that was a journey. But I've also realized that if I was in a company that done branding, I could have learned that a long time ago without spending so much, without failing so much, you know what I mean? But I'm not mad about it because that journey has molded and shaped me, you know what I mean?
And you've helped many along the way as well with their journeys.
And I've helped many along the way of their journeys, because all my mistakes, they was able to lead from and find out what not to do. As I said in the last episode about my dad, taught me everything not to do. So I want to now be that example for all the children who want to build their own clothing lines. I can give you examples of what not to do. Like, don't print 20,000 colours as soon as you make up a clothing line. Print black and white, do you know what I mean? So yeah, so that was the pros of working a 9 to 5, because, how can I put it? I have my own cons on working a 9 to 5, which I kind of can't have because I've only had a little bit of 9 to 5ers. But also, I speak for all entrepreneurs. Well, not for all, but I speak on behalf of entrepreneurs. And when I do speak, some people say that I'm not self-aware that I'm making 9 to 5ers feel like they're not worth it or feel like having a 9 to 5 is bad. I've been trying to work on it, but I've been more trying to let them know, don't listen to me. I'm talking to entrepreneurs. When I say stuff about life and business, I'm talking to entrepreneurs. I'm not saying getting a job is bad. I've always taught people that having a 9 to 5 stable income is a stepping stone towards your success. It depends what you use your money for. But I know that trading time for money is a negative. That's what I believe. So give me some cons about what you believe about having a 9 to 5, because you've lived both lives.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think it's perspective. It's all about perspective on both sides, right? Whether you're an entrepreneur or whether you're in a 9 to 5. And for me, like I mentioned, 9 to 5, it had to be in the best companies. That's the only way I was going to do it.
So that's what I'm saying. That's cheating, because you got a good education, which made you definitely got you into the good jobs, but made you go down a good path to get into a good job. What about someone who's just got a 9 to 5 in the bookies?
So that's where I'd say, what could you do to fulfill your dreams? And like you mentioned, like for me to have gone to certain places, it required a lot of investment at a young age. Like I paid for my university, I paid to live at university.
There you go. That's sacrifice.
Absolutely. So
you could have gone on holidays.
I could have gone on
Could
holidays.
have bought more cars.
Yeah. And exactly. So for example, when we had our GCSE years, like there were kids playing football outside where we lived.
Yeah.
I wasn't out there. You wouldn't see me.
That's
Because
what
I
I'm
was
saying, Javed.
in my room. I had one of those long dated sort of dressing tables, if I can call it a dressing table, with a big mirror. Like, you're telling you a bit too much now. I'll probably get cussed for this, but and I had my books lined up, so English, geography, science, whatever. And I remember putting it in order because I heard someone say that you should tackle the most difficult task first. So I tackled the most difficult task first, like maths, for example. So the maths book first, and I'd spend 3 hours there, and I'd spend 2 hours there, and I divide up my time. So from a young age, I always wanted to study and make sure I worked on the hardest things first so that the rest became easier. That journey continued. So I put a lot of time into my self-development from a young age, right?
So your life will get easier.
Exactly. So it sounds like, oh, I did this and I went to Microsoft. It wasn't just that. It was that, studying during the week. Weekends I've always worked.
You said Microsoft.
Weekends I've always worked. So
you worked
Saturdays and Sundays, So
sacrifice.
Saturdays, I'd have a job on Oxford Street. One of the ones I'll say was a brand called Dixon's, which I absolutely loved. Fantastic company. It's part of a Currys and PC World Group. The technical side of it.
They went bust, but what happened to their brand?
They've gone online.
Oh,
mostly. So actually, Currys is still around.
Yeah, Currys is around. What?
Dixon's has gone online only.
But Dixon's is about?
It's about as an online brand.
I never knew that. I thought it just actually dissolved.
So it's part of the same group. So PC World, Currys, Dixon's is the same group. So I'd work there on a Saturday. Sunday I had a market stall in Covent Garden. So I'd be up at 4 o'clock in the morning, driving down, finding a space in where someone else hadn't taken because we weren't permanents.
Because when you're not permanent, there's no designated car space for you.
Exactly.
You get there early or you miss the space. Yeah.
It's like first come, first serve.
Yeah, otherwise you got to load your car from far. I know about that because I've spoken to people in those industries when, loads of stuff, hustling, innit? I'm about this life.
Absolutely. So I've done the hustling, I've done the hardcore hustling. So 4 o'clock, you're waking up, you're driving down, there's people like falling asleep in the queue. Yeah. And you're like, you got to move or you got to cut in front, right? And you have to get there early because if it's a rainy day or if it's snowing, you don't want to be out in the open stretch. You want to be in the sort of alleyways where people are walking down. So we're like, we better get there early. We'd set up stalls. Again, that weekend hustle paid for my education. And my parents, bless them, they gave me a home and they gave me loads of love and attention and, we were fed very well and all those other things. But I had to work very hard for my education and whatever I wanted. So it sounds quite easy, like you've done X, Y, Z. It's the steps in between. Like success.
The things they don't see.
They don't see. So for me, success are small stepping stones collected together,
100%.
which date back not just the last year or two. It's from many years.
100%.
And that's where I'd say that led me to go and work for these companies. And to go back to your question of a 9 to 5 and the cons of it, I'd say, look, for any person, someone like myself, I feel like I have an entrepreneurial mindset. If I can work in a company which allows me to have that entrepreneurial mindset, I'm good, I'm happy. And there are tech companies which allow that. The moment I feel like my freedom is being tampered with, or you're caught up in things you don't really want to be caught up in, and I'll say what it is. Like for me, a con of working for a company, my current company is wonderful, I love it. It's a great company, it's a great brand, and I have that sort of mental space to be expressive, be free, and do the things I want to do. And that drives me to want to do good for my company. But it's politics when it comes to companies, right? Because when you're an entrepreneur, you set the pace, you set the example, and you are your own free person. When you're in a company, you're usually reporting to someone. And that, regardless of how good the company is, if that someone, for whatever reason, doesn't like you or is threatened by you or intimidated by you,
they can make your life hell.
They can make your life hell. And our background, Dexter, we went to a school where to go to school, I've had people come to me with knives and stuff to steal my pocket money. So you've had to kind of lift and become bolder and stronger and more confident. You've got to stand up for yourself. So
especially being from South London, where we're from, you've got to stand up for yourself.
Absolutely.
No matter what.
And we have that sort of mindset where we're fair. I feel like we're fair. Logic is logic, right is right, wrong is wrong.
Yes.
But
very much.
The con in the workplace is you know, in a playground, if someone punches you, you might punch them back.
Yeah.
And then you have a talk about it and you kind of work things out and you carry on, right? In a workplace, how it works, metaphorically, if someone punches you or does you wrong, you say, that was very nice. Shall I give you my other cheek?
Oh,
right?
wow.
And then you can't really say, you can't do that like I would. I would say, listen, you've done something, I don't agree to this. Here's why I don't agree to this. And this is why I think you shouldn't do it, because it's not going to work well for anybody, right?
Whereas my whole take on it is proper, totally different. Totally like, I don't think I'll just speak much. I know it says it in the Bible that you must turn the other cheek, but that's why I can't do the 9 to 5 thing. Did you hear him? If someone punches you in your face, you must give them the other. He must be lost his marbles.
But the reality is,
the
moment you do that sort of thing, you know, it can be quite dangerous for your career, because there, you know, and I put this down to culture as well. Of my appearance, people from my background are stereotyped. Like, Indians are hard workers, you know, they'll do it. Just give it to the Indians, they'll do it. You know, when I looked around in certain offices,
stereotype. I had that in my mind for over the years too. You know, that Indians are very determined. They will get it done. They will do it no matter how long, no matter how much. Yeah.
And I felt that. And because we grew up where we did, I'm not a typical Indian Londoner. Like, I am nothing like, and again, everyone's individual personalities, but I have quite a South London influence in the sense of, I will stand up for myself and I will challenge you. I respect all the way up to a CEO, but I don't fear anybody. No. And for me, it's all about fairness. You get out what you put in. Yeah. And I think in the workplace, you know, when it comes to politics, that's the only thing I despise, because we work on logic. We're not taught about politics. And before you even know it, you're in a political situation just for trying to correct something that someone's done wrong. And if they've denied they've done it,
it's very straightforward what they've done wrong. And then it goes into a whole supervisor, emails, all this stuff. Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's where I draw the line and say, life is too short.
So you're basically saying, when you're saying this life is too short, you'll be willing, not throwing it in the air, as in even for this job, but as in, if your chi is messed with, you would walk out of a job.
I will walk out.
You don't work for money.
No. For me, principles and how I'm treated and my mental freedom is worth a hell of a lot more than a paycheck. And, you know, I will respect the company. I will respect the environment. I will respect my colleagues. But I have boundaries, and those boundaries shouldn't be crossed. And I think that's a fair ask for a human being.
Fair. And I think that's where a lot of my, what would we call it? I wouldn't call it anger. I don't even know what to call it. But my whatever towards 9 to 5 comes from. That it's not fair. It's, you know, it's a hierarchy thing. And a lot of people are working for money and working in a place that they're not happy. And it's driving their mental health problems, it's driving their family problems, their partner problems, because of their attitude they come home with, because of their not having of stuff. And I just don't think humans should go through that. You know, as much as we are built in a world of, I'll call it up-to-date slavery, that's what I call it, because it's a you don't work, you don't have. You work, you only earn a minimum. You know, like I looked at it like, the bigger, so do you believe this or do you see this? The bigger the job you get is the bigger tax bracket you get.
Yeah.
So you don't actually earn more money. You just illusionally move up somewhere.
Because by the time you paid your tax and your national insurance contributions, and then if you have to do a self-assessment where you earn over a certain bracket.
That's what I do now,
And if you've forgotten to do that self-assessment, HMRC won't call you.
No,
they won't email you.
No, they just fine you.
They'll fine you, and they'll put it in this inbox which you never check on the HMRC site, which takes about 10 questions, which, you know, require brain surgery type questions to get into. And it can go for a couple of years, and someone might even know they've been fined because they missed that one document from something which they didn't know about.
I've been through that. And this is what I mean about living the practical. I've had to learn that through the hard way. You know, like, someone said to me, my aunt said to me, you got to do your self-assessment. I'm like, what's that? Yeah, you got to do your self-assessment. Cool. I didn't do my self-assessment. I got a big fine and that, and then things happened, and I had to get my accountant, which I had to learn that I need an accountant. You know, all these stuff I learned about these positions, and then they writ the letter and then I got it taken off.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they allowed
Amazing.
me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I learned the hard way.
That's what happened to me. So when I worked for a company, I went into that bracket, and I didn't know I had gone into that bracket, and I had these forms filled, and I went, why would I do this? I'm employed by someone.
Yeah,
They know what I
You're
earn.
not self-assessment. Yeah, exactly.
Why-
That's how.
It's like it's a game of Snap. Like, you know what I earn.
Yeah, but
you
you're
want-
telling me to tell them what I earn.
Yeah, and if I miss anything out, you know anyway.
Yeah.
So you're going to find me. So why don't we just play a
This
fair
is
game?
just dodgy hair.
Yeah.
Is this just a way to get more money out of
Yeah.
me? Yeah. And I mean, going through all of those things, yeah, I've learned the hard way, man. I've learned the hard way. Proper accounts, you know, getting your accounts in. Remember, I ran a few companies, so I got 4 different accounts to do. Then I got the self-assessment to do. Then I got to talking about staff taxes and working tax credit and whoa, this is the time when I'm thinking, I don't want to be the boss. Can someone else take care of this part? Do you know what I mean? Because it's always good wanting to be the boss of your own company.
Yeah.
But you sleep less, you work double, you sacrifice a lot more. That's the cons, you know what I mean? Because everyone talks about the pros.
Yeah.
The pros is like, yeah, I don't have to answer to no one. I wake up when I want. I create my own wage. That's all sound good. You see, when I tell you I don't get paid. You see, when I tell you I get in first and leave last. You see, when I tell you when it all goes wrong, everyone looks at me. When there's no money left, I have to go and find it somewhere else. Yeah, you see all that part? Yeah, being the boss is a bit hard, man.
It's always good to get the insight because, you know, from a 9 to 5, you go in and you get your salary and you get your things paid for, right? But like you say, on when you're an entrepreneur and self-employed, it is a tough journey, isn't it? It's
Proper tough, man.
a lot of considerations.
I'm nearly considering changing the videos that I do. I want to start doing videos to tell people, don't run a business, don't start a business, because guess what? I don't think you got it in you to start a business, because a business is very hard, and people who are business owners, like myself, I make it look easy. But because I'm from the concrete jungle, nothing's hard to me. But everybody's not from the concrete jungle, and everybody doesn't see everything as not being hard. So when you get into a position where I'm in, where you don't have a job, because a lot of people cheat, and I'm saying this, pointing at yourself, because it's kind of like what you're doing. You work and have and have a business. So it's like you don't feel. I won't say you don't, but it's harder to feel the strains of your business because you have a safety net. Do you see what I'm saying? Whereas when you leave your job and this is what you have to live off, it's like, rah, wait, this has to work. Otherwise I don't eat today. This has to work, or my kids don't get Christmas presents.
Yeah.
So you see, sometimes when people used to say to me, I used to get actually upset about it. People used to say, business, it's not personal. I say, that makes sense. But you see, when what you done affected my business, and the business pays for my personal life, which is my children, yeah, business is personal to me.
100%.
Do you understand? Because if I don't get this done, I don't get paid. If I don't get paid, I cannot buy my kids' school uniform. I have no other option.
Yeah.
So I have to see it personal sometimes, you know what I mean? But
Absolutely.
being the boss, being the last one on the pitch, last one at the change room, you know, it's stressful. So I think I need to start telling people, don't start a business.
Yeah.
Don't, unless you got, listen, if your balls ain't dropped, don't start a business. I'm telling you now. You understand what I'm saying? But yeah. Last thing, well, not even last thing, but tell us, app. You got an app?
My app, yes.
You actually got a real app.
I have a real app.
I love it. And you know, I boast about it before our show. You know, it's because everybody has an app. But they're like, you know, they're made up apps, so you can just create an app and you just put your things in it. You know what I mean? I know you ain't got that app. No. I know you got an app. You
Got fully coded, individually coded app.
Yeah, exactly. Tell us about your app.
So I'll give you the background first.
Yeah.
So you know I did an MBA.
Yeah. At Harvard.
MBA was at Brunel.
Brunel. And then
Harvard I did strategic business management.
Yeah, yeah.
And in that I did a dissertation. Yeah. So I mentioned previously about artificial intelligence. AI.
Which you're going to teach me all about.
Which I will teach you all about. Yeah. But to keep it quite simple, artificial intelligence is about machinery which can learn and do things which humans could do effectively, right?
Like
so
in Tesco's self-service.
Self-service is an example of that. That's
low end.
That's the sort of lower end. Like you're just scanning an item and it picks up what it is. Artificial intelligence is something a little bit more sophisticated where technology can almost think, right? So previously, technology could do a lot of logic-based jobs. So a calculator will tell you X plus Y and whatever will give you a result, right?
Which is programmed, really.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's a very standard sort of computer type task.
Yeah.
Artificial intelligence can look at your accounts and then say, and give you suggestions. Like, you can do, based on your accounts, you might want to look into this area of your business, which is done low over this time period. Or it can say, June's coming up, you're likely to peak. If you put X amount in marketing,
No.
Y.
Where's this AI thing? I need it.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
right?
I need it.
Yeah.
I need it because my business, I can't remember all that stuff. Like I always said, one of my worst fears, yes, I'm saying it live on camera, I don't care, yeah. I don't know how much clothes I've sold.
Really?
And it proper drives me crazy. Because how can I not, that's the first, if I'm going to collaborate, which one of my biggest collaborations that I want to do is with Benetton, and I actually want to buy the company. But if the first thing they're going to ask me is, how much clothes have you sold?
Yeah.
Thousands.
Lots and lots.
I sold lots and lots. But I don't actually know. And if I had AI, he'll tell me, not only tell me how much I'll sell, but he'll tell me in June, you usually sell the most, so you need to invest in more yellow t-shirts.
Exactly that.
I
Or
need
when
AI.
it's sunny,
I
you're
need
likely
AI.
to sell t-shirts. When it's cold, you're likely to sell your sweat tops. So AI can sort of
And
push
AI,
things.
I'm trying to get here. AI is built into the system.
So AI is the fundamental of a software, for example.
Oh,
So it'll be
get it,
a
yeah.
software which is
It's just
it has
software.
AI,
Yeah, I get it.
which does it, right?
AI. Oh, where do you get this machine from? I need one of these machines. Or is it a program, a software? Whatever it is, AI, come link I as soon as you can. I? All right.
So what I did was I looked at all the AI type equipment that was coming out or software that was coming out and how it's being implemented in the real world. And I got a shock. So my dissertation was all about how AI would impact jobs in the UK. Then I made my own predictions and said, right, if this rate of technology carries on the way it's going,
I see it.
there's going to be a lot of people who are going to be made unemployed, and what will they do? And then I thought, well, they'll just have to go into universal credit because there's a massive skills gap because a lot of people don't have digital skills. They can use WhatsApp and Facebook and those things, but when it comes to knowledge of applications and stuff, there's a massive shortage. So I said, right, that's going to be quite difficult for a lot of people. And the way programs are going out now, it's not quick enough to train up the nation. So then I thought, well, people have to look after their families. What will they do to earn a living? So that's when I decided I'm going to create an app with good intention for people who will be made unemployed to make food at home and sell it to locals. So I've always been about community, giving back to people. So there was a heartfelt thing behind that, which is to give people an opportunity to earn money because you need a level 2 certificate, food and hygiene safety.
I got that.
You've got that, brilliant.
Yeah.
And then you need your premises checked by a health and safety officer, a HSO.
Or do you supply that or do you have to get it done by you? Because I went to go on Deliveroo. So for those of you that don't know, I actually started my own food business, which is Sims Cuisine. And I went to go on Deliveroo and they said tell my council to come out and do my check.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's right. So it's exactly that.
Yeah.
So you need a council member to come out and it'll give you a scores on your door. So they'll give you a hygiene rating out of 5. So once you have those two things in place, your certificate and your food hygiene certificate, essentially you're ready to go as a business. And then you've got to make sure there's registration, which we've got a full document on what people need to do. But essentially, if you're at home and you want to earn a living, there's not that many steps. It doesn't take that long to set up. And so long as you're a good cook, then you come onto our platform and we'll take care of the rest for you. We provide you a full payment mechanism. People have an app on their phone which you can order from, just like Deliveroo and Just Eat and all the others.
Yeah, all them people bleep them names out because guess what? They're our competition now, you get me? We don't deal with them, we deal with, what's it? Chef
33.
Chef 33, yeah. So forget the Deliveroo and forget all the Just Who. All right, Chef 33.
Thank you, Dex.
Yeah? So I'm trying to tell you, mate. Harvard, Chef app. If you're a chef and you work from home, sign up now. Chef 33 on the App Store. Go on, sling your hook and sign up.
So I created that with that intention, and now through lockdown, again, a lot of people at home, they've been made redundant, they're on furlough, and they've started to reach out to me. Now, obviously, I'm respectful of government guidelines about social contact and distancing and various other things. So we are following government guidelines, but essentially, when things open up, I can see my app taking off because the interest I've had, the downloads I'm getting, I'm really grateful. But again, it's a community app for the people.
For our people. by our people.
Absolutely.
Like Food Boot, you get me? Shout out Damien John, I'll soon see you, yeah?
And it's been coded, right? So this isn't like you just go online and buy some random app. I've got a development
Yeah, and
team.
then fill in your bits.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not a copy and paste and jiggle things about to your color.
Yeah.
No, this is a full-on coded bit.
Yeah.
So technical issues. I've dealt with all of that. I've put a lot of my personal savings into this. Like I sold my car,
There you go.
my dream car to go for this.
Investment, sacrifice.
Absolutely.
You go and get your result, bro.
Exactly. So I've changed my car and gone to a standard car. I sold my dream 4x4 to put money into this because I believe in it and I believe in myself. So I'm grateful that it's starting to show value. It's helping people earn a living, and I wish to continue that journey to be the #1 home food app in the UK.
You heard that here.
#1. So guys, you heard about my app. It's a home food app for home chefs and bakers. Just go to www.chef33.com. You can sign up and register there, and you'll be joining the UK's #1 home food app.
Hey guys,
Hi.
Hi.
this week's challenge. I want eyes here.
Okay.
The camera, please, guys. There is 9 cards in front of you.
Yeah.
All 9 cards are different. Please look at the cards now. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Please look away. I'm going to call out the cards on the table, and I've just flipped them over, so you guys had only 10 seconds. Well, now 20. We're going to have to rephrase that, but let's go.
Yeah, go on. Just start the game, bruv.
Alright, ready? I want number 4.
4. I'm going for this card.
I'll go for that one.
Turn them over.
I can I have another guess.
No, turn back the cards over.
I know where it is now.
Too late, Dex.
You know, like now I know where it is.
Where is Q? Turn them over.
Yeah, baby.
Dexter's winning.
All right.
1-0.
So we leave the queue over.
Yep, just leave them, yep. Where is 2?
Oh, we saw that though.
I wasn't even meant to pull it over. I was
We
meant to
saw
just touch
that.
it.
We saw that one.
Yeah.
But you got there before you.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah.
All right then, come on.
Yeah, let's go.
I want
I only know 2 more cards.
I don't know.
You better tell me good one.
number 4.
4. No, we just done that.
Turn the cards back over.
Go on.
K.
Yeah, you got it first, but that's
Before you
it.
turn over.
Boom. Yeah, that's it.
Boom. It is 2-1.
And I know where the 4 is. Oh, that.
Number 7. Turn them over.
Yeah, baby.
3-1. Number 6.
I got it first, isn't it?
We're going to have to do a replay on that.
Go rewind the camera. But it's number 6, so we both got it.
Dexter 1.
Okay,
Hey,
on
my
the
finger
rewind.
was there.
Ace. Turn the cards over.
Yeah, baby. So there's only 3 more.
No.
Number 10.
He got there. That's it. That's definitely the 10. So you ready now? That's a 4.
Ready,
So what is that? Whatever you say, that's what that is.
You faded it out. Number 5.
Well done, that's it there. So obviously we now know this is the number 4. I don't think that was fair. I don't think that was a memory game, you know. I feel like it was a speed dating game. I don't know about dating, but it's a bit of pause. I think it was a speed game.
Who won? What was the score?
It was a score.
The winner is Dexter.
Hey!
Well done, Dex.
Well done, mate. Thank you. So, this week my book recommendation is a book called Key Person of Influence by Daniel Presley, I think. I actually went to one of his acceleration courses and one of his talks as well. Key person of influence taught me about being a key person of influence in your sector. So in life and in journey, you know, everybody's known for something, but are you the go-to person in your sector? Which has brought me to my new style of videos being about clothing. Because as much as I do so many businesses, people now know me as motivational or businessman, when I should be known as the clothing man. And that. So Key Person of Influence by Daniel Presley is my book recommendation for this week.
Sounds brilliant. I'll have to read that myself. So my one's called Mindset by someone called Carol Dweck, D-W-E-C-K. And it's about the two types of mindsets you can have, about a growth mindset or an open mindset or a closed and fixed mindset. And essentially what it shows you is the sort of thoughts you can have when you're in either part, whether you're in a growth mindset stage or a closed mindset stage. And he talks about how being a learn-it-all rather than a know-it-all is a much better way to be in your life, based on just being a student of life and taking on new knowledge. So it's a great book. It's got loads of examples in it. I found things that I was perhaps doing which was a little bit closed-minded, and it was a learning journey for me, an application to get more on the open-minded side. Yeah. But I definitely recommend it and hope everyone else finds value in it as well.
And where have you heard it here first? On Suits and Tracksuits, episode 2, with your host, Dexter Sims, and my good friend and co-host,
Javed Laher.
See you soon.